Hi guys, it's me. I'm back, and we're here with some pretty unfamiliar screens in the series. This will be my first episode on the topic of music, and I'm going to try and summarize what I've learned in the past 2 to 3 days of vigorously Googling everything to do with music in an attempt to get an idea of a process in how to make a bunch of music for our game. I'll start by showing you a short demo for a track, I guess, that I came up with. Something that has kind of the sound I'm going for, that I'm quite happy with. So let's take a listen. And I'll stop it right there because the rest of it just repeats. So very simple. You can see it's written using FamiTracker, which is a tool that's very much like the actual tools used to make music on the NES, because the NES had hectic music restrictions. Because it's simple and it's reminiscent of the NES times, it's a pretty ideal starting point, I think, for our RPG. Basically, when it comes down to video game music, there seems to be two major types of programs, right? We've got tracker software here, which looks like this. It looks like an old ass computer program. You can see F sharp D2 B1, the notes, you just slot them in like this. Pleasant. You can just on your keyboard, you just play the keys. I do have a MIDI keyboard. I don't use it very much though, because I find myself entering notes very slowly right now, and I don't really have any musical knowledge, which is why I've had to spend a lot of time kind of researching how I'm going to go about this. I don't exactly want to study a full semester of music. And yeah, the program, just when you hit play, it just runs it down. You can change the speed, the tempo, all of that stuff. And you make the instruments digitally like this. So this is one of them. Very computery. For FamiTracker specifically, because they run on NES limitations, they've got 2 pulse channels here, a triangle and a noise channel, and a DPCM channel. That's kind of a special channel where if I wanted to record samples from, real world instruments, you do it through that and you assign them to a key. But they're super bit crushed. It's not used very much because of how low quality you had to record the stuff in. Most songs use the 2 pulse channels, the triangle and the noise. Pulses are your higher notes. They're like that. Jesus. They're your very squarey sounds. You can change the instruments a bit, but most of them sound like that. Triangle. Very bassy sound, often used as bass. Though some of the tracks I really like use like really high triangle like that as a lead. Sounds great. Noise. I'm pretty sure everyone's familiar with that kind of sound. You can use it for explosions, stuff like that. Good for sound effects actually. Most common use in NES music is for like drums. For the kind of music I want, I like the kind of spooky dungeon feel. A lot of it just uses the pulse and the triangles. Some faster tempo stuff that has like a drum beat uses noise as well. I'll open up. This is a simple one that I found that I really like, so I'll play this. This is one that's led by the triangle. My music terminology is terrible, by the way. Yeah, sounds really good. Sounds spooky dungeon-like. I'd most likely go for tracks like that. Here's one straight from Dragon Quest. So it kind of leads with that high square, and then it's got the Nice melody of the triangle. Cool thing about Family Tracker as well is you can like turn these channels off. So if I just play the triangle here, yeah, so this town tune only uses 2 tracks. Very cool. Yeah, all these references I just got from searching around the Family Tracker forums. A lot of people post covers, and they have the download available, so that's how I've been kind of learning tips and tricks of how to compose music. You can see from the Tarot's Castle one that I played before, this 4 effect means that when it hits this note, holds the note until the next note, but when it hits this 4 effect is a vibrato effect, which makes till I turn that effect off again, it does the woo sound. So if I play it from, it's very slight, but it's like woo when it hits that. That's it for tracker software. The primary way people seem to make video game music nowadays is they make lots of music with this stuff. It's called a DAW. It stands Digital Audio Workspace, and it's like a super complicated program. The song that I made, I actually started by entering it in here first, and you can hear this is the note progression for my pulse wave. Sounds exactly the same actually, because the instrument I'm using, these softwares come with heaps of default instruments. This NES emulator sound is just one of the default ones. There's also like Freeboy, which is Game Boy, Bit Invader, where you actually like can draw the curves, because all these notes are like curved, computer generated. But yeah, one of the weaknesses I have, not being trained in music at all, is even though I fare better on a tracker program, I made all of my other songs, the Fancy Rain ones and the Mirror Angels Paradise songs, I used Sunbox, which is like a super complicated tracker. You can see like the tracker part, the premise is exactly the same, but like you can lay out the instruments, and all the instruments have all these curves, and it's just bloody crazy. But so this is the fighting track, I think, for Mirror Angels Paradise. Yeah, and it sounds pretty cool. The problem I had with this, and it's partly because of the complexity of the program, is I didn't really have a good method of how I was going to make music when I went into it. It was kind of just a crap ton of trial and error. I want to be able to make lots of different tracks for this game, and I'll just get more knowledgeable in composing music in general, so I'm trying to get a better method down than kind of just trial and erroring everything. Some of this turned out really cool. I like this bit, I think. It's kind of like the breakdown, and then it builds back up here. Yeah, that was pretty cool. But yeah, one of the biggest problems I have with trackers is I can't visualize the notes as I put them here, just because I'm not used to working with this, which is what made me really attracted to the DAW, is that you use piano roll, right? Which you literally you got the piano here and you just click where you want the notes, and you can drag them for however long you want to play them. It's even got like, you can automatically put chords, so if I want a major chord, if I want a major C, you just whack it on there and it puts all the things there. Lots of little stuff like that. But yeah, I plotted the notes here. I partially plotted the melody. Yeah, you can see how that bit's much less refined if I just play this track. Oh, that's the start of the song, my friend. Yeah, you can see how that's kind of the refined bit. Another thing is the use of tracker effects is is something I'm more used to. When I plotted this, I couldn't figure out how to easily put vibration at the second half of a note, and I googled endlessly to try and figure out how to do that stuff. And on these tools themselves, this is like how you generate the sounds with this tool. I searched up heaps of these NES tools. They're called VSTs, virtual something something something, But a VST is like a standalone instrument that you program and then you plug them into these DAWs. So this instrument, if I understand it correctly, and I used FL Studio, which is the more meta for making songs, it seems. That's like a paid for version. This is like a free equivalent of FL Studio. My understanding is that this would plug into that just fine and have the interface and all of that. So people can create their own instruments separate to these, and then you can like Google them, plug them in, buy them, whatever. But yeah, you just play around with all these variables. This actually does have right here a vibrato scale right here, but it's extremely weak. So sorry, I gotta make the note longer here. I can turn off the envelope and that makes it constant. Yeah, that's the vibrato max. It body sounds terrible, alright? You can see in the actual thing if you listen closely. How about I delete this note and I delete the cancelling effect so I can hear this just a bit longer. See that? Excellent. Yeah, and this is like the only control, and there's other ones I've tried, like external Nest one. So this comes with the program, but to load in external ones, use this Vestige thing. Open it, I find my plugin. Same kind of Nessie sound, and we've got it here. This one was cool originally because you can actually play with these curves. It more closely matches what you can actually do with the instruments. So like I got a volume one here and a duty cycle one here. There's just no options for vibrato or anything. There's these. I can't get any of them to work. Ooh, it's hard, man. In short, I'm kind of using a combination of both at the moment. I think primarily I'm going to be making the songs in the tracker. Don't let the simplicity of my track or the program itself fool you into thinking that it's limited. Some crazy tracks have been made on this. You can make crazy good sounding stuff here. But a lot of the stuff I'm going to be doing, it sounds like I'm just going to be using 3 channels, unless I do something upbeat, maybe like a battle theme. Tracks I've been getting inspiration from are like Final Fantasy, Dragon Quest. That stuff shouldn't surprise you. And most of those, like spooky with long triangle notes, and I don't know, it's good, man. Yeah, I'm going to be trying to do more stuff in here. For music, for sound effects, I will probably still use Sunbox, which I was using before, because you don't need to have like knowledge of composing music so much when it comes to sound effects. Usually they're just either a note with a lot of effects on it, or like a small chord or combination of effects, and I can get more diverse sounds on that program. But for soundtrack, it's going to be very simple. We're going to have some nice dungeon jams, I think. Cool, that's it. I'm going to struggle to make this a short video, but the point is, probably going to make songs in Family Tracker, so wish me luck. But I gotta get better at music. Even though I've made songs before, I don't have like a good process or method about going about it. I cannot listen to songs and like know what notes are playing, really. Like obviously I can tell high from low and I can get jams in my head and stuff like that, but it's tough. It's something I just gotta get better at, it's practice. Same as art, same as programming, it's all just practice, my man. I'm out, dudes. I'll peace you later.